Hey guys, so today is Operation Move Chickens and Kittens Day. They've all been hanging out in our house, and chickens are like just a week old. I'm gonna move them into this hoop house here, but the door's all busted up, so gotta fix the door, bring some heat out here, water, food. I think we'll be good for the chickens. And then we have another spot inside one of the barns for the cats. So let's go. So I've done a video with putting these things together. Originally made them for our chickens, but they serve multiple purposes. This one had the plastic on it because Mary Kate was using it as a greenhouse in the early part of the spring. It's been just sitting out here ever since with a broken door. And now we're gonna move the meat birds into it. But before, our pigs were over here when they were more babies, and we needed to make sure that they're a little bit more enclosed and couldn't escape because we had a problem with them escaping once. They were living in here, so it was doubling as their house as well. So there's a lot of use cases for these little hoop houses. The problem is that when you move them around a lot, they're not very structurally sound, so you always have to do some upkeep on them. But that reminds me, I need to get a tarp for the top of the chicken coop as well. Yeah, look. All right, well, that was Mary Kate, and she's at one of the farmers markets right now, and we forgot bags, so we need to run some bags to her. Feel like there's always something, right? Yeah, I mean, these bags have worked out really good at the market because it incentivizes for 2 dozen eggs. Buy 1 dozen, you don't get a bag. You buy 2 dozen, you get a bag with an ice pack. So if it wasn't for the bags, we would probably move a significantly less amount of eggs. So it's probably worth driving these out to her.
Sometimes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, babe.
And those who feel they don't have to carry any particular brand or type of product, Costco, Stu Leonard's, Trader Joe's, unless it provides value for the customer and is profitable for the retailer.
So I'm listening to this book on Trader Joe's, how they got started. It's pretty interesting. I didn't realize how old Trader Joe's was. Got to start in like the 1960s, I think. But, you know, as Cockadoodle starts to grow, we're starting to become more of a grocer to a certain degree. Although I really, really want to be careful not to be considered an online grocer where we have a wide variety of a lot of things, because some startups that have tried to do what we're doing with getting local food to people, they had the pressure to increase the size of their cart, and they started adding all kinds of products to their website, even stuff like soda and candy and stuff like that. And I'm sure it did the trick. It probably increased the size of their cart. But then what happened is that all the consumers had an expectation that it be the same day or next day delivery. And so I want to be really careful not to become that online grocer, and just to focus on local food staples. And that's kind of, I think if we stay in that lane, we'll avoid being considered like an online grocer where consumers demand that next day delivery, which we would never be able to compete there with the big guys. So, all right, back at it. We have like 30 minutes before we have to get breakfast going, and we have a soccer game. It's Saturday, so we're running around all over the place today, trying to think about how to get things done. Okay, here we go. All right, so I think we got a few more minutes left. Get the meat birds out here. This has always been one of my favorite things to do, getting them outside into the real world for the first time, just seeing how they react to it. So we've done meat birds now a good handful of times. Meat birds are different than egg layers because these birds are bred specifically for meat. So they get a lot bigger, a lot quicker than egg layers would. And they also have like next to zero survival instincts, so they have to be in this kind of cage as opposed to like an egg layer that's free ranging. They have great survival instincts and they're very productive at laying eggs, but they just don't have any meat on their bones. So even taking them in to get processed, it's not worth it because there's just no meat on the bones. These guys, on the other hand, they're gonna have some meat on their bones. The previous times we just harvested all the chickens ourselves, which was a good experience. I'm glad that we did it. This time around, we're gonna go through a USDA processor, which means that we're gonna be able to legally resell our meat on the Cockadoodle Marketplace. And of course we can buy meat from other people at wholesale, but this is just kind of our way to experiment with the process, figure out, you know, what's the best way to do this, can we improve on it, you know, etc. So, all right. Let's go make some eggs and go to a soccer game. I'm doing a video about all the crazy things that we're doing today.
Yeah.
And how our Saturdays are so crazy.
Go! Yeah.
What was the final score?
3-2.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Hi guys. What?
What are you gonna say? All right, so we have the farmer's market packed up, heading back home. Got to get everything unloaded back into the garage and ready for the next market, which is tomorrow morning. And then we can finish up the Operation Move Kitties and Chicken and Kittens. That's what it is. Operation Move Chicken and Kitten Day. You know it was Operation Move Chicken and Kitten Day?
Yeah, you told me this morning.
Yeah. All right, so kitten time. So we had the kittens out here in the barn, and they were born out here, and the mom was with them for a couple weeks, and then she left. We don't know where mom went. So then the aunt stuck around, which was really nice because she was keeping care of them, cleaning them up and cleaning up their poop, and it was like, it's amazing. She was even bringing them like dead mice and even a chipmunk once, which was kind of gross and completely freaked out my mom. But it was really interesting to see how she wanted to help. And then we had to start supplementing their feed, so we were bottle feeding them, and it just seemed that they were getting to a point where they weren't really thriving, so that's why we had to bring them inside. So they've been inside for a couple weeks now where we've been bottle feeding them, and then we had this heater that they were on inside there. So I'm gonna bring this heater back out to them, and let me kind of show you the setup we have in the barn here. Pardon the mess. This is our tool barn, which ends up being just our storage shed because we're still waiting for our barn that burnt to be rebuilt. But this is their new little area underneath the stairwell here. And my dad built this for the kittens, and it works out really well. So this is like a temporary solution for them so that they are safe and secure in the barn and they know that the barn is home. But while they're in here, they still need to have a litter box because they're not just free ranging coming in and out until they get a little bit older. So they need a litter box in there for now. And then once we kind of like let them free range and they have like the entire farm to roam around, they don't use the litter box anymore. And that's when cats are like my favorite. They're so awesome to have around. I was not ever really a cat person, but this will be the kittens' home for a while until we set them free. So we got their litter box. We got this little thing for them to hang out on the colder nights. Get some food and water, and they'll be good to go. All right, let's get these kitties out.
I feel so guilty. I know, that's how I feel.
You just make me feel so bad. Oh, you're gonna have a good little life in here. There's your comfy little bed. Sweet dreams.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us on our kitten chicken moving day. Our house is back to being animal free. If you'd like to follow along with our adventures here at Cockadoodle, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. See ya.